welcome to Season 3 of Skillcast, the podcast by the London Organisation of Skills Development. I'm Nurbanu, I'm your host. I'm beyond excited to kick off another season of powerful insights, real conversations and game-changing skills. This season, we're leveling up, bringing you deeper conversations with experts and visionaries who are redefining success. From mindset shifts to must-have skills, we're unpacking what it really takes to stay ahead in an ever-evolving world. So if you're ready to learn, grow, and be inspired, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to Skillcast. You finally made it.
Thank you so much.
So how would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Steph Mahoney, and I'm a Holy Light intuitive healer. I'm a Reiki Master, divine channel, and the founder of Your $1 Million Life.
Wow, that's a lot you're doing. How did you get into all of this?
I got this, over the past 5 years, I discovered my ability. I stepped into my higher purpose, and I realized that I was meant to do something bigger in this world, and that I was meant to be a healer. And throughout my journey, I received information to create a program, which was meant to heal people. So as a healer, I've gone through this journey now to identify people's deepest wounds so I can heal them, remove that blockage from their energetic matrix, and that helps to pivot them back into divine alignment.
Okay, so how did you get started?
When I realized that I had this higher purpose, I began through Reiki, which was my first journey into understanding what energy was. And what I realized is that once I was able to connect with a person through Reiki, I started to receive visions. I could start to communicate from the other side. A whole spiritual world opened up to me. And I started receiving messages at that time. So now the gift that I have is that when I'm able to connect with a person's energy, I receive messages that I share to my clients at the same time. So I'm healing their bodies, but I'm also healing their souls because I'm giving them help and divine alignment with whatever they need at that time.
Nice. So do you call yourself a crossover medium? Is that what you like to call yourself? Or what kind of medium would you define yourself?
I would say a divine channel, because I have had spirit that would come to me to connect with me to their loved ones, but it's a very different type of energy. So my mediumship is really meant for a higher purpose, which is this spiritual realm. So it's angels, ascended masters, and spirit guides.
Oh, okay. So in terms of helping, can you help anyone, or is it just certain people that you truly can connect with?
It's anybody who is ready to have change. Anybody who desires to have healing is a person that I can help. Sometimes people go through really rough patches, but they're really resistant to have change. They don't want anybody to influence them. They're in a really dark place. And I think sometimes you have to be ready to let that go. And the moment you are ready to let that go is the moment that as a healer, I can really help you to untangle and remove that darkness that's kind of like holding you back.
Do you believe that when you heal someone, it can be quite draining on your body, and you can sometimes take whatever they are holding on to can kind of come onto you as well? Is that something you believe in?
You know what, that's a good question. It is possible I think we're all healers. Mm-hmm. You can when you connect to your God source, you can use your positive energy to help a person. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, that's very draining. But the energy that I'm receiving is universal source energy. So it's actually not from me. So what happens, it comes through my crown chakra, through my hands, and I'm just a conduit of light. So if anything, I receive the healing at the same time as the client does. So I leave very relaxed and energized.
Interesting. So are all healers the same, or all healers have some sort of different power and speciality? Because you hear the term healer.
Yeah.
How can you differentiate between the different types?
I think that's a really great question. And I think it really depends on what a person is specialized in. We were talking about to a person who does quantum healing, for example. I'm doing something that's, I do Reiki and Holy Light, and Holy Light specializes specifically in removing karma from a person's energy matrix that was from trauma or from past lives or something that happened in this life. So my energy is really specific to people who are going through really hard situations. So that's where I can really help them.
Do you know if someone's going through a hard situation? Can you feel it, or is it only when you connect?
I absolutely feel that.
Okay.
And, through privacy, I do keep that to myself because it's really when a person's ready to let that go. But I really like to invite myself to just show them I'm there as compassion, and I don't say anything until they're ready to open up. And when they find out I'm a healer, that's when a lot of them are really attracted to me to find that pathway of help. And they don't really even realize that energetic healing is a solution that could help them. But when they do experience it, it really shifts their life.
Can someone experience a shift from just one session, or do they need to have multiple sessions?
Absolutely, one session, yes.
And how long does the session normally last?
I do it for 1 hour. So I start off by scanning a person's aura and clearing it. And with Holy Light, we always start in their heart chakra. And Holy Light is intuitive. So I have a spirit guide that works with me. So they show me what a person actually needs in that moment of time. And before we actually start our session, I'll always ask, what's one question that's keeping you up at night, or a place in your life that you feel really stuck in? So as I'm healing them as a divine channel, I kind of step away energetically, and they'll speak through me to that client and create a pathway of solution.
So you actually can answer their particular questions.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so not many healers can actually do that.
No.
There are few that can. There are few that can. You can ask them questions and they're able to answer you, but then there are other healers who just kind of just think, I'm just giving you healing like energy right now.
Yes.
So what you're actually saying is that through the Holy Spirit, you can actually respond based on what
Absolutely.
Okay, so I've actually spoken to one of those before as well, and I find them really fascinating. So I actually spoke to a particular healer, and she was basically, I'd asked her about some health conditions I had, and I said, okay, why do I have this health condition? Like, what's going on here? And she basically said something that happened in my past life.
Yes.
That's what's caused it. So one of the things was I have a bit of a digestion issue, and I get a lot of stomach inflammation, and I think I have a bit of stomach inflammation. There's something going on with it with my gut health. And she basically told me that is in one of my past life, I was a really big believer in Ayurveda, and Ayurveda, they believe in drinking in copper cups. And copper is actually quite toxic. It's a toxic heavy metal for your body, and that toxicity of the metal of the copper has actually caused weakness in my gut health, and that's what's causing my digestive issues. And I was like, okay, so what's the solution? She was like, the solution is to donate copper cups, because we're just letting my mom had the exact same reaction. She was like, what am I doing? Can I start donating copper?
It's no judgment. I just wasn't expecting.
Neither was I. So there was some very she told me stuff, and then there was also some other very dodgy stuff that she said. So she'd actually come to this healing session with one of her friends who's a sound healer. So as part of her reading, she started saying, you need to go see this particular friend of her friend who was sitting next to her, say, you need to see her, and you need to go to her particular town where she lives, and she's going to give you sound healing that's going to heal you. And at that point I was like, okay, this is a little bit dodgy now that you're telling me, like, it's basically this kind of like saying, first you're telling me to get copper, and now you're asking me that I need to basically, because it's money related when I go for therapies and treatment. And I was like, there was a commercial element to it, and that really kind of got to me.
No, for sure.
So there are healers that do stuff for free, and I feel that those that do it for fun, and not for fun, but do it free of charge, because they they are the real deal, or like do one session for free, and if it kind of entices them and they can feel something, because mostly they can feel something going on and it feels natural to them, and that's how they get kind of connected to that person. And it sounds like that's like a similar thing that you find with your clients, that they believe in you and they trust in you.
Oh, absolutely. It's all like referral based. And I've just been so busy with, I've had so many clients continuously. Now I've shifted my healing now in more of like a speaking, where I'm like speaking and helping people heal like from different perspectives. And it's guiding them to come to higher level solutions. But when I do have a client in front of me, I always explain that, you know, all healers are amazing. They have beautiful gifts, but like everybody, we're all different, you know? But the thing with healing is that we're all like layers, just like an onion. But when you begin to heal one layer, you begin to heal all layers, you know? And with karma, especially from your past lives, everything is embedded within you. So you don't have to go outside of yourself. Everything is within you that can be healed. And it's within your karmic matrix. So with holy light specifically, that's where it begins to heal in your body. The trauma that was kind of like frozen, kind of like what PTSD is, right? It's like something that's really like, it stopped time at that moment. And that's what you keep reliving, you know? And it heals and it breaks that. So depending on how powerful it is, sometimes you do need more sessions. But even by just doing one session, you realize how much it opens up and you begin to shift and change. And the more you're ready to release is the more that naturally you let go.
Can you heal yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's actually quantum healing codes that are universal quantum healing codes that are numeric, and it's all very scientific, that anybody can use, and it's free. It's from the universe. It was channeled from people. And it's something that you can heal your body, your mind, your soul, and something I can be happy to share with you as well.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you'd like, I can even share that information with the viewers, because this is free information for all people.
For sure. Please go ahead.
I don't have it here, but perhaps I can include it in the link.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about, do you believe in symbolism and signs and things?
Well, the coding to open up the portal of healing and different levels of healing is given through signs, through symbols, I should say. So all of the different symbols have different purposes, and you would use in different parts of your body. So that's what you get ignited for as a healer, to be able to draw in that energy through you to help a person that moment in time.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about some of the tattoos you have on your fingers. I was having a look at them. What do they mean?
Nothing. Well, this is the undulum, and it's the pathway to enlightenment. And what it basically symbolizes is that when you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's very, it's usually very quite messy, and you find yourself in lots of different turmoil until you get to the pathway of nirvana. And then that's when you have that enlightenment and everything opens up to you. So when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I got that tattooed because it was really symbolizing what I was going through at that moment.
How old were you when you had that spiritual awakening?
About 5 years ago now.
Oh, so it's quite recent then.
Yes, very. So
what was it? How did that spiritual awakening actually happen? What was that spur of the moment?
So much, just so many layers. So truthfully, it happened, like everything happens in different time frames. About 20 years ago, I was in a very toxic relationship where I didn't know how to leave it, and was starting to come to a point of talking about marriage, and I was so scared. So my parents had dragged me into church one day, asking me to just come with them, and I was just sitting in the aisle really mad, and I kind of looked at the cross in front of me at a Catholic church, and I kind of rolled my eyes, and I'm like, what do you even want me to do? And I was just so much anger. And immediately just felt this strong impression, and I burst out crying and uncontrollably ugly crying in this church. And my parents just brought me outside into an empty parking lot. They're like, what is going on? So I had to kind of confess, and they gave me the courage to leave this really abusive relationship. And from there, I started from zero because I lost everything in my life. But then is when I began to hear, and I heard this voice, and it said, give your life to me. And I knew who it was, and I was so angry. I'm like, no, I got this. And I just didn't want anybody else. I finally left a controlling relationship, and I didn't want anyone else to control my life. So my life continued to downward spiral into rock bottom. And at this point, I was actually suicidal. And that's when the voice came back to me again. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't even want to live here. You can just have whatever it is of this pathetic life that I have, because like I'm done. And it just left. And things didn't happen right away, but very, very slowly it began to shift and change, where I saw this little light, it's like a flashlight in front of my mind, where I began to see all of my life in like little pieces of choices. And I started to see what the right choice was. And I began to unravel this really deep mess of darkness that I was in. And I transformed my mess into this $1 million life, because now I flipped all of the timelines that were creating so much sadness for me into the highest timeline of the dreams I've always prayed for, you know? And that's where I got this vision of creating the blueprint to your $1 million life, to show people what this pathway was. But that voice stuck with me, and it just continued to escalate until I had to figure out what this was. And that's when I realized that I am this divine channel, and that I am meant to be a healer. And one day I'm going to be speaking on stages, teaching people this pathway, how to live the highest timeline of their destiny.
So do you teach people to be healers as well, or is it just to heal?
I'm just the healer. So,
you're just the healer.
Yeah.
You're just a medium. And
yes, exactly. So I show
do you believe people can heal themselves, or do they need a healer to heal them?
Everything a person can do on their own. With your mind, you can transform anything in your soul or in your body. We all have that own power. You don't need anybody. But a lot of the times we get blocked from realizing that power, and that's where people can actually help you to break free from that, so they can be that conduit to bring you that change of healing that you need.
Interesting. Do you think I need any healing?
I think we all do, because I do as well. But
so can you give yourself healing, or is there another healer that would need to give you healing?
I would give myself healing, but a beautiful practice that I do every morning is that I will lie down and I just close my eyes, and I'll just say, I invoke a channel of golden white light to flow into me, and anything that's not of the highest vibration of love, may it be released from my body and transmuted back into the light. And then I ask angels to bubble me within my aura with protection. So your body, illness cannot live in a high vibrational body. So when you're able to increase the vibration of your body, all of this has to fall away. But we're all just energy. So it sounds like things are impossible, but with energy, it's just very tangled and it's very knotted. But when you heal it, it all lets go and it releases. So all things are possible. You are able to heal your body. As long as it's within your karmic and your contract, your soul's blueprint, that it's meant to be healed, as long as that's in alignment for your soul's purpose, then it will be done for sure.
Amazing. So do you have a family?
Yes, absolutely. I have my husband and I have my 3 kids.
3 kids? Wow,
Yes.
you look really good for your age.
Yeah, thank you. That's another thing, I've always experienced, I went from a toxic relationship to finding really my best friend and soulmate, and we're renewing our vows soon. And I went from being told I could never have children and now having 3 miracle children. So it's just, my hope is to show people that no matter where they are at this place of life where things seem impossible, everything is possible. And whatever you believe and have dreams in your heart, but whatever you feel like is meant for you is always meant for you and will find you.
Oh, thank you so much for your motivation and your words. So lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.